Dave Delgado here for In the Zone. With me, Ari Esaroma from Copper's Cove High School in Texas, where she's a powerlifter and Olympic lifter. When it comes to powerlifting, you're nationally ranked in the 148-pound weight class. Tell us how you got your start in the sport of powerlifting.
I wasn't really freshman year of high school. I didn't even know powerlifting was a thing. And then since my dad is a coach, my dad is my coach. I go to my dad's gym for Olympic weightlifting where I trained. And I saw him training other teenagers who went to my high school who was a grade above me. And then he was talking about how they wanted to become friends with me. And I was like kind of iffy about it at first, but then I became friends with them and they kind of like pushed me towards powerlifting. It's a strength sport like Olympic lifting. So I was like, I'm gonna try this out. I love lifting weights. So then I started my sophomore year of high school powerlifting. I kind of fell in love with it. So then I continued to do it.
And how is it training under your dad, having him push you and motivate you in the gym?
Honestly, good and hard. In the past, like he's definitely pushed me to be where I am today. I feel like if I didn't have my dad, I wouldn't even be as strong as I am today because he's pushed me so much. There's times where I just really was not enjoying it, but in the end, it really paid off, and I'm very grateful for it.
You competed at the regional 6A championships. You're currently sitting in second place in the region. What are some of the events you competed in?
For last year, I made it to regionals. This year, I qualified for regionals. My last meet, my last regional powerlifting meet, like for my my region, I'm going to regionals because I already qualified for the total numbers. And then last year after high school season, I did a USAP at my first USAPL meet, like out of high school in Austin, Texas, and qualified for nationals for USAPL. And then COVID hit. And I also qualified for USAW nationals for Olympic lifting, but I couldn't attend because COVID. So 2 of those events I wasn't able to actually go to.
Well, let's talk about your powerlifting numbers. When it comes to the bench, you're at 175 pounds. Your squat is 295 and your deadlift is 315. What are some of the target weights you're looking at for future competitions?
I want to break a state record for bench, which is 205. But my next meet, which is literally in 2 days, I want to squat at least 305, bench 180, and then deadlift 325.
And how often are you in the gym working out?
Every single day. Sometimes on a Sunday or a Saturday, like I might not be able to go because like family things or I just can't make it. But mostly every single day.
You've been powerlifting for your high school for 3 years now. Any records for school or awards that you've won for your high school?
I medaled every meet last powerlifting season, which is top 5 at least for every meet. And every meet's like a lot of schools. But this year, I feel like this season is completely different now because of COVID. So this year, like the competitiveness isn't really there because there's only 2 schools allowed at a meet versus last year, which would be like 8 to 12 schools at one meet. It's like really long. There's so many people, but this year there's only 2 schools per meet. And like when we go, like it's only our school on one platform and then another school on one platform. So we can't like really be there and watch, like what numbers they're hitting. So I can like jump ahead of them, you know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of makes it harder because I feel like going against somebody in your weight class, like seeing their number there, like it just like makes you want to hit more than them, and it would be easier to like be like, okay, I'm gonna jump this much, but then you can't do that because you can't really watch them at the same time you're going.
And what are some of your goals that you've set for your senior year?
To make it to state this year and to break the bench record. It's really hard to make state. I was gonna talk about how my weight class, like my sophomore year, I was in the 123s, and then last year I was in the 132s, and then this year I'm in the 148s. And so like the weight, like the higher you weigh, the harder it is to get to state. And I feel like I'm so close to state, like my senior year weighing heavier rather than like before where I was like super light. And also like starve myself to just make weight. I don't have to worry about it this year because I'm in like my comfortable weight class.